everybody. This is actually the first time I'm live on my Embrace Her Legacy page. I've actually gone live on my personal page, and I got a new phone and a new app. So I guess the Facebook Messenger page lets me go live on my Embrace Her Legacy page. So I'm just going to get right into it. It's dead smack in the middle of the afternoon on a Thursday. And I didn't want to share this post because I didn't feel like it. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. But then I took some of my own advice and I said, Maria, you got to get uncomfortable. I'm always telling people that you can choose courage or comfort, but you can't have both. Today, if you don't know me, if you don't know, not familiar with Embrace Her Legacy and what the Embrace Her Legacy brand is about, I am the founder and chief executive officer of Embrace Her Legacy, and what I do is I pretty much empower and inspire millennial women and girls to birth your dreams and be whole and, achieve that legacy of faith, of purpose, and of success. And I do that through motivational speaking. I'm a speaker. Different empowerment programs that I have, different classes and online resources that I teach, and I have actually some new things that I have been in the lab working on to really hone in on that message and really message and inspire you ladies. So thank you for your support. And if you want to know more about Embrace Her Legacy, you can find out at embraceherlegacy.com. So my name's Maria, right? Maria Melendez. And one thing that I am uber passionate about is inspiring others to realize and achieve your dreams. That's part of my mission, as part of my assignment as a teacher, is to inspire you to achieve your dreams. Now, I know one of the things that I deal with the most, and women, this ranges all ages, all races, all cultures, is this. There's such a fear to pursue your dreams. It's like, I don't care how many motivational quotes, how many motivational speakers you listen to, how much time you can pump yourself up, but there is a fear out here to go after your dreams, right? It might be the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of success. Some people are afraid of what it will take to maintain that level of success. The fear of being alone, the fear of the unknown, the fear of the economic hardship that you may endure. There's so much fear that comes attached with realizing your dreams, and you got to understand that fear doesn't come from God. That's first and foremost. So fear connects you to your adversary. Faith connects you to God. And that's a whole nother topic that I can go into about fear versus faith, because there are forces that have been set up and comprised to work against you that do not want you to prosper. So that fear manifests itself to keep you bound, to keep you in bondage, to keep your dreams in hostage, because all these fears are controlling you. Fear is a spirit, That's why, God tells us He didn't give us the spirit of fear. And you have to be aware to know, okay, are my dreams, am I bugging? Is this just trepidation, or is this a spirit of fear that has me in bondage to or hostage for my dreams to be achieved? So, I know it's not easy, but I'm going to share with you one story that changed my entire outlook on how and why I should not only realize my dreams but commit to my dreams. So earlier this year, I had perhaps the most significant meeting in my life. And that meeting was with my pastor. I'm not going to share his name. Those of you who know me know who he is, because I don't want to put him on blast. But my pastor is shepherding a 35,000 plus congregation in Brooklyn. So you probably Google it and figure out who I'm talking about. And he has reached some levels of success that are unprecedented. I love his story. Growing up, born in Panama to a Panamanian mother who was on her way to the Olympics but got pregnant with him, and unfortunately, she decided, she couldn't go further on to qualify for the Panamanian team, and she decided to have her son, who his father wanted nothing to do with him. So his story is amazing. And during this meeting, I'm talking to him because I already feel like I'm talking to Oprah. Like, he's one of those type of people. I'm like, how in the world did I even get in this room, and how in the world did I even get this meeting? But God, because my pastor's not one of those like, oh, you can just, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, this, like, he's a heavy hitter, right? So I'm in the meeting with him, and we're talking about, and I laughed, and I said, I told him, I said, listen, this is the Third Testament, and this is the Book of Maria, because I'm about to like pour out. So one of the things that I explained in our meeting was that I experienced the most challenging times of my life after I decided to take my leap of faith and walk into my purpose and realize of my dreams of inspiring, empowering other women to become an entrepreneur, speaker, and all that jazz. And I'm like, I don't understand. I thought I'm being obedient to God. God gave me this dream. God told me to do this. God, that's a whole nother story. If you want to know about that, you can read about that in my book. I'm like, God told me to do this. Why am I suffering? So he told me something, and it just sat in my heart. He told me this story about at the beginning of his ministry, the first 4 years of his ministry, where he left a comfy corporate job in banking. I kind of know what that feels like, leaving a comfy corporate job in the music industry. And he left his job in corporate banking to fulfill his purpose and fulfill the ministry calling that he knew God had on his heart. So he did that, and the first 4 years, he said he experienced some of the most trying economic hardship that he had ever experienced. And with a wife and I believe at that time they have 4 children. They have more than that now, but I think 7. And he said that he did what most men would do in the natural. He went and got a job, and it's a job in banking. But he said in his spirit, like in his gut, in his heart, he felt such a guilt because he knew that he wasn't supposed to go back into banking, and that he was supposed to, stand his ground, trust God, and keep going in the direction of building his ministry. So that story of him telling me stuck with me. So fast forward a few months later, I'm sitting in the middle of our church campus. It's 1 million acres out here in New York City, in Brooklyn. And God reminded me of that conversation I had with him, because I was benefiting from a decision that he made 35 years ago to continue going and committing to the dream God put in his heart. And I thought to myself, what if he wouldn't have done it? What if he would have given in? What if he wouldn't have paid attention to that thing, which is God, in his heart, telling him, no, this is not the direction to go? Here I am, 35 years later, and this man has literally, through God, through him, has transformed hundreds of thousands of lives throughout the world, building a church ministry of 35,000 plus members. Souls are being saved. I'm benefiting, and you're benefiting. If you followed me, take one of my classes, read my newsletter, read a blog post, follow me on Instagram, whatever, you're benefiting too, because much of my teachings come from things I have learned from him. And I think about who I've become just in the last 8 years of being a member of this congregation. And I thought to myself, because in that moment, I was telling God, I was like, listen, God, I'm too fabulous to be going through this. Like, I wanted to quit. I was like, you know what, Lord, when you told me to do this, you didn't tell me all the extra curriculars that would come. But in that moment, I was reminded of that conversation that I had a few months ago, and I thought to myself, Maria, if you're not obedient, if you quit now, there is somebody who's going to suffer 5, 10, 20, 30 years down the line because you decided to give into your feelings and you decided to doubt the very promises that God has given you instead of, sticking with it. And in that moment, it all made sense to me because I'm like, what if he hadn't done it? My life wouldn't be my life. Your life probably wouldn't. Well, I'm not saying it probably wouldn't, but how many lives would have suffered? See, so many times we think our dreams are about ourselves. Oh, I got this big dream, and I got this big dream. And sometimes we got big dreams and we chase success because we're looking for validation, and that's a whole nother story. But we think, oh, it's just about me, or no, it ain't about you. Your life is an assignment, kid. Like, you have an assignment on your life. Do you understand that? When God made you, there's an assignment. Everything you have gone through, your gifts, your talents, your abilities, your pain, everything is shaping what that assignment is in your life. That dream that is inside of your heart, I don't care if the dream is to start a cookie business, to be a stylist, to be a attorney, to start a nonprofit organization, build a church, become a speaker, a therapist, a counselor, whatever it is. Do you understand that is your assignment? That is not it. Do you understand that somebody else may be suffering because you're sitting on your gift, because you don't want to be uncomfortable? People kill me all the time and talk about, oh, I want to achieve my dreams, but you're not willing to get uncomfortable with it. For it. Sometimes you got to get uncomfortable for a season. Sometimes, you can't have it both ways all the time. You have to be willing to commit to it because I don't want my life to come to a halt or to end and I get to heaven and God shows me all the things that I could have done, but because I was too proud or too scared or wasn't willing to be uncomfortable for a season, I couldn't do in the lives that suffered because of my lack of obedience. So when you begin to understand that your assignment, I have my vision board behind me on purpose because you guys can see an idea of what I'm looking to do. There's pictures of girls all over the world. But when you understand your life as an assignment, there's something that God is expecting me to do, that only I can do, that everything that has happened to me, he's expecting me to birth something, to build something, to create something. You are being closest to God when you are being creative. That line I got from my pastor. He taught us that you're closest to God when you are being creative. Again, what if he would have said, nah, I'm gonna just gracefully bow out? What most of us do think is that, oh, I'm just going to take a break. But what I've noticed, because I've been at this for a minute now, is that most of the people who take a break from their dreams never get back to it. You get comfortable. You get comfortable with that check. You get comfortable with that lifestyle. You get comfortable, so you tell yourself, oh, I'll get back to it. Then next year comes, the year after that, the year after that, and dreams are gone. And you don't know how much longer you have on this earth. You don't know. We take this thing called life for granted. We don't even know. Heck, I don't even know if I'm going to be here. And I'm not going to put that on my life, but I don't. We don't know when God is going to call you home. And when you do, what you going to have to say for your life? I read a study about this woman who worked at a hospice, and she started documenting, story, not a study. She started documenting the greatest regret that people had when, they're on a deathbed. People ain't going to lie when they got days and weeks to live. And she said the number one regret people had was that they regretted not going after their dreams and achieving the life that they wanted. And instead of allowing the fear of what other people got to say, of rejection, of failure to stop them. Let me tell you something about failure. I've done it. It's happened and it hurts, but you'll get back up again. You will always get back up again from failing. And you don't learn from your successes. You learn from your failures. You learn by being persistent, by enduring. And I'm tired of us, especially those of us in our community who are not taught to build, to create, to do something. We're taught to go and okay, just go to school, go to work, get a job, and you'll be fine. No. What are you building? How are you using your gifts, talents, and abilities to make this world a better place? How are you fulfilling the assignment that's on your life? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you going to do so that your legacy, like my pastor also told us, think globally instead of regionally. Let's stop being satisfied with just having a job and just having enough. Yes, that's great. That's good. But let's go higher. Let's dig deeper and say, you know what? What have I been created to do? And if you know what that is, do it. Somebody else is counting on you. So if you can't do and accomplish your dreams for yourself, think about the other people. You don't know. You might be the one to break the cycle of poverty in your family. You might be the one that, because you went and got your master's and became a therapist and now you have a counseling business, you don't know. You may break the chains of abuse in somebody else's family. You don't know that by you starting that startup, whatever startup you want to start, you don't know that you're going to inspire millions of girls around the world who want to do the same thing that you're doing. And then you don't know who she's going to inspire, who she's going to inspire. This is what I mean when I say we gotta do something, guys. We can't keep around just willy-nilly Facebooking, social media, liking, commenting, and not doing anything different. What are you going to do different? What are you going to do different? What are you going to do different? How are you going to make your life better so that a year from now you're not in the same place? 5 years from now, I have this great class that I'm working on teaching you how to create a 5-year fantasy plan, because we underestimate. I heard a quote, we overestimate what we can get done in a year, but we underestimate what can happen in 5 years. So I leave that with you to understand that, baby girl, oh God, your life is an assignment. Somebody else is going to suffer a benefit from the choices that you make, and every choice you make has a consequence or a benefit. It's time to make better choices and be committed to your dream, because you don't know who's going to benefit from your obedience 5, 10, and 15 years down the line. Oh God, I'm so thankful that my pastor went and did it, because it's like God knew that there was going to be a Maria 30, 35 years down the line who was going to need him to do that, who was going to need him to stick it out, take off the gloves and fight for your dreams. It's going to be a fight, but I want you to understand that it's not about you. It's not about you. It's about the lives that you have been called to serve with those gifts, talents and abilities. So just wanted to share that midday thing that was on my heart. If you like this and you like, Maria, I need help, sure, no problem. You can go to embraceherlegacy.com/5-step plan. The word 5, not the number 5. So it's embraceherlegacy.com/5, FIVE, step plan. And you can download my free guide to help you start navigating that path and create goals to help you birth your dreams. And if you want to work one-on-one, I'm also available. I have one-on-one strategic goal setting sessions, and you can schedule one of those with me at embraceherlegacy.com/session. All right, so I hope this was inspiring to somebody out there that you're like, oh, I don't know. Get up, do it. Somebody else is waiting on you, and I don't want somebody else to suffer because of my fears or whatever it is. I'd rather go through it. I'd rather endure a tiny season of hardship to live a life of abundance and of prosperity and of inspiration. I'd rather do that. And I'd rather, my dreams are big, kid. I'm not going out like that. Neither should you. All right. Thank you guys. Have a good day.